Welcome, guys, to another episode of Investigating the Tea in History.
I don't know.
Is that what it was?
Da-na-na-na. We need a...
We don't have a theme song.
I know,
No
but
one's made a
Celine
theme
said
song
she's
yet.
working on one, so hopefully TBT. No, that's to be... What is TBT?
Throwback Thursday.
Throwback.
It's not, yeah.
To be TBA. To be announced. That's what I'm going for.
Oh, TBD,
TBA.
to be determined, right?
TBD. That's what I wanted to say. TBD.
All right, so today we're talking about the Catholic Church again, but this time we're focusing specifically on art and education.
Oh, I love art and
Yes,
education.
that's good you love art and education because, as you know, I teach, so that's half of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do?
What? I have something to do with it, but I am a terrible artist, so. All right, here we go.
But
So,
you're a
Catholic
great
Church.
teacher.
Oh, thanks. Suck up.
Mm.
A for Hannah. So art. Mrs. Magera, sorry. Art. So in medieval times, I actually said this in the last video, but in the medieval times, which is the Middle Ages, which we're talking about, in Europe, they would paint these paintings on the side of churches and
Oh yeah,
inside
this was in
cathedrals.
Mrs. Magera's tea.
Yeah, because they were trying to tell the story, and normal people would go to church. They couldn't read the Bible; they had no idea to read, and they couldn't also understand Latin, which was being spoken whenever the Bible stories were read. So they didn't really know what was going on. So they would just look at the paintings on the wall, and the walls would kind of tell them Bible stories. But that's basically all they really had. They didn't have any really deep understanding of biblical issues. There weren't like books published telling you like what to believe or anything like that.
But that was because of the whole Latin translation.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you basically go to church, see your priest there, and your priest would basically tell you what to believe, and you just accepted him, and you'd be like, yeah, sure, all right.
But didn't he say, like the Bible says?
But he was
He'd
speaking
paraphrase.
in Latin. When he
He'd
quoted
speak
the
it in
Bible.
Latin.
I mean, he would like.
He
talk
couldn't
with
be
you
like,
somewhat,
oh,
yeah.
there was a guy who parted a river.
Yeah,
His
but
name
it wasn't.
was Moses.
It wasn't like he couldn't tell you the direct story from it. Yeah.
He just paraphrased.
Yeah.
Okay.
If that. Yeah. All right. So.
But
so
he could get in trouble.
art was very important. Yes. Architecture was also really important for the Catholics. Hugely important. In fact, due to the power of the church and the strength of the church and the amount of money the church had, they were able to build these extremely large cathedrals. So these things that were ginormous. In fact, between 1150 to 1400, these were built in the Gothic style. And Gothic actually means dark, but it really wasn't that dark. They were very light, very thin walls, and you had these beautiful murals. You can't see it right here, but this is all stained glass windows, so it looked very pretty on the outside. And you can see, imagine how giant this is. Like there's a teeny human down the bottom, and these are huge, giant stone things made before they had, what do you call those things? Things up?
Bell towers?
No, the things that you help to pull things up, a crane or anything like that.
Didn't they, Notre Dame, isn't that one of the like oldest ones of the Catholic Church and it was on fire?
I mean, it
year?
was
Or 2 years
so that was Notre Dame is the Gothic cathedral, and it did burn down 2 years ago, last year.
Yeah, but they're rebuilding it, I think.
Yeah, or 2 years ago. They're rebuilding it, but yeah, it did, part of it burned down. What was I going to say about Gothic? These things would take so long to build, though. So you'd start building this, and 60 years later, you'd be finished.
60 years!
Yeah, or even longer. Sometimes it'd be like 100 years or
my-
something. So most of the time, the person who started it never
Didn't
saw it
even-
finished. Yeah, they usually died well before it
Did
was
famous
finished.
people like design them? Like did Michelangelo?
Sometimes, yes, they would have famous architects design them and famous artists who like decorated the inside too. So, and these were huge projects, as you can imagine, spending 100 years building something like that. Yeah, so the Gothic style. So the Gothic style it has thin walls, and in order to have these thin walls, you had to have these things called flying buttresses. And this right here is a flying buttress. It's basically it's like a
flying
straight
buttress.
thing. It's not a flying butt, no.
Buttress is what you're saying.
Buttress, yes, flying buttress, yeah. What?
Nothing. I didn't say flying butt.
Oh.
You did.
So basically, it has a column with like a thing on the side that helps bring up the main building. So say this is the church, the flying buttress is this little thing. Yeah, it's a terrible drawing, I know. This is the flying buttress right here that's kind of
You
holding
weren't
up the
kidding
side
about
of the
your
wall
artist thing.
I was not. I am a terrible artist, yeah. But you can see that this flying buttress would kind of help keep the church walls up so it could be nice and thin, and you wouldn't have to have big, thick walls with like little air. It could be like very pretty on the inside. And so that was a new invention they came up with that really helped the Gothic style. You're laughing very hard at this.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Anyways, how about race? There we go. Okay. They also had these. Oh no, it's falling. They also had this. I don't know if I'm going to get this all off.
Does it matter?
I mean, that's decent. Okay. They also had this gargoyles on the outside. This is a gargoyle. And
This is like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes, the
I
Hunchback
think
of Notre
a lot
Dame,
of
something
this
like that.
education can come from that movie.
But it's not a great movie, so.
No, the music is incredible.
Yeah, but the movie itself is a terrible movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a terrible Disney movie. Anyways, but gargoyles are basically stone beasts they put on the outside of it. And the idea was these were like mythical, scary things that were outside of cathedrals that you'd go look
To
at.
get away demons?
They were to warn people that evil spirits would get them if they didn't listen to the church. So say, oh, if you don't listen to us, this thing's going to eat you.
Oh my word.
Yeah,
Can you
when you're
imagine
in
if the
hell.
school did that? Like,
Yeah.
just put up really large, like,
Scary things, yeah.
of
to be
the
like-
teachers posing and scary, like.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they did. And so that's the Gothic style. It had flying buttresses and gargoyles. Are you having a real trouble with the flying butt?
No, it's just you keep saying it.
That's
Flying
what-
buttress.
That's what it's called.
Okay, well, I'm just, who else is in this class? I bet there's
This
somebody
is all
else
seventh and eighth grade.
giggling.
I'm sure.
Patrick's
I'm sure
giggling
they're
right
mature enough.
now.
They're not going to be like, oh, he said butt again.
No.
Okay. So education. That's bad.
No,
So,
it's late at night. I'm tired. Don't
Okay.
even.
During the Middle Ages, no country had any sort of schools. So if any learning did happen, which not that much learning happened during this time, but if any learning did happen, it had to happen in monasteries, convents, and cathedrals. So basically, if you're going to learn anything, it was going to be out the Bible and at these places. So if your parents were going to pay lots of money, you're going to basically learn to be a priest, and that's where you receive your education, is by going
And
to a
learn
church.
Latin.
Yeah, or cathedral, yes. And then you have to learn Latin, and with Latin you can then start reading other books and stuff.
Were only priests and stuff allowed to learn Latin? Was it like a holy language
No,
that
you could-
only the
You could
like-
learn Latin, but it's very hard to, and most normal people wouldn't, because you would,
There's no point
yeah, no
besides.
time in it, and it'd be a lot of work. So the clergy were usually the only people educated in the town. So if you went to a town, you'd have to go to your priest or bishop, whoever's there, and they'd be the only ones who'd actually be able to read anything or know that much. And they would remain that until the 1200 when universities start to develop, and these universities, the same ones that like we have today, like Oxford and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's Catholic?
It started out, well, actually I'm not certain if it started out Catholic or Protestant. That's a good question.
I'm full of them.
Yeah. All right, so Mrs. Magera, let's go ahead. And what's your tea?
My tea is ginger and honey, and it's iced. But that's not the tea. You see what I'm saying? We have tea and then the tea.
What's the tea?
Okay, well, the tea is, did you know the Pope lives in Vatican City? Do you want to know what country Vatican City's in?
It's in its own country, Vatican City.
Yeah, that was the,
No.
that's the tea. It's its own country. It's called its own sovereign nation. And so you have Italy, and then and I actually don't know if it's in the middle of it. Do you know?
It's
Is
Rome,
it
so
north?
it's near the middle.
Okay, so we'll say kind of
Because it's
in
in
the
the
middle.
city of Rome, yeah.
Yeah, there is the Vatican, and so that's where the Pope lives.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually, did you know the Vatican has more theft? Like, it has more crime than all of like Italy or something like that. It's a ton of
Really?
crime, but it says that it's mostly by tourists.
Pickpockets
But I
and
don't
stuff.
know if that the percentages have to do with the fact that it's so small, because not a lot of
Right.
people live in the Vatican. So when you think about that,
It's also because you have to be there. You have to work for the church. So it's the only country in the world where everyone who lives there is male.
really, like monks live there too,
Well, they're
and
all
nuns
men.
don't.
Yeah, no nuns. You have to be working for the Catholic Church, and so you're a bishop, something like that.
Do you have to be like pure to get into Vatican? Well, I guess not if there's a bunch of tourism crime.
I mean, I don't think the Pope's the one robbing people. I think it's the tourists. that
No,
are
it is the
coming
tourists, but I'm saying, do you have to? Can anyone go in? Like, are there borders? Like to get into Suriname, you have to
There are
go
borders.
across
I
the
don't know- I
border
don't know
and
exactly
get
how
a
you in.
stamp.
That's a good question, but it's you do have to have their own passport.
They have their own passport. Can it get into anywhere? Is it like the best passport in the world?
No, but it's a good one. I think it's like a normal one.
I don't know. I just know America is top 4 and Canada's top 5.
Okay,
That's
we're
all
way
I know.
off track, but that is the tea.
The tea. Y'all have a good week.
Bye, guys.